The National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party has held an emergency meeting at the party secretariat in Abuja. The meeting follows a wave of defections that has rattled the opposition party in recent months. Former vice presidential candidate of the party, Ifeanyi Okowa, and the governor of Delta State, Sheriff Oborevwori, were on Monday welcomed officially to the ruling APC, sealing their defection to the party. Their defection led to the collapse of the PDP's political structure in Delta, one of its long-standing strongholds. The development is said to have triggered concern within the party's leadership. Now, political analysts are insinuating that Nigeria may be gradually drifting towards a one-party state. For some perspective, we're joined now by Tonye Cole. He's a chieftain of the All Progressive Congress. Thank you very much for giving us your time. This narrative, I had a conversation yesterday with two learned gentlemen, and they said it was too early to be talking about the gravitation to a one-party state. What is your perception, sir?
So I know that that's, well, first, good evening, and I know that that's the biggest fear that Nigerians have today, that we're moving into a one-party state. I would say first and foremost that Nigeria cannot afford a one-party state, and I don't think that that's where we're going to get to. I believe that we will get to a dominant party state, which is not new. PDP was once a very dominant party. We never got to a one-party state then. APC is now a dominant party, and it's not going to get to a one-party state. That's what my belief would be.
Disseminated is the word some people are using, broken to pieces. All other parties in the country, there is internal conflict, internal fights. The Labour Party is always at the court. The PDP itself is also struggling. I can't remember other parties now, but we know there are multiple. If APC's power is so strengthened by this defection, I mean, doesn't it make plainly, doesn't it make it valid that people are concerned and that from all indication, opposition in this country is almost dead?
So I agree that people are concerned, but I would always say this, conflict and internal conflicts always have a way of coming to an end. So let's take PDP, for example. I believe that there was a meeting today which raised the issue of the defections. And that's a wake-up call. And I think for PDP, it's been a long time coming. There was a need to wake up. And I believe that this latest defections, maybe one or two more coming, will definitely drive home that fact that they need to wake up. We do not and cannot afford to be in a country where there is absolutely zero opposition. No country survives that way, which means that people are going to have to sit up. So let's take three parties, for example. One, PDP. There needs to be a wake-up call. That wake-up call has happened. Labour has been decimated very, very badly, which means that they have to restructure and come back together if they want to be relevant at all moving forward. And then you still have Abuja within the southeast states. Abuja has a very long history, especially within the Anambra state axis. Will they restructure and will they be able to get one or two other states to come along? I don't think we'll get a one-party state. PDP still happens to be the largest of all of them. But to get to 36 states, all APC, I don't see that happening.
Okay, let's talk about the question of ideology. Some persons say this defection has nothing to do with ideology. It's the same where the bread is buttered, where will benefit them more politically, and that's why they are defecting. And perhaps the challenges that bedeviled the other parties that made them leave might creep up in the APC this time around. What are the buffers that the APC is putting in place to ensure that these people are genuinely coming to do something positive with the platform?
Okay, that's a very, very good question. And the first aspect of it is that the issue of ideology has never been strong within the Nigerian political system. It has always been one about who is more likely to win and where are you most likely to be when the spoils are divided. And so ideology has not been something that has been strong. But it's something that has to develop. You know, Nigeria's democracy is still very, very young. But if there's one thing that we must continue to push, is that we must get to that point where ideology becomes a very, very key and central discussion. And we're not there yet. And so what you see basically is an alignment of which powers and which political agenda will drive personal political interest forward the most. And so people align that way. That's what we are seeing, and that's what we will continue to see for the next couple of years. However, it's not sustainable. At some point, people are going to have to take a line to say that, you know what, this is what we believe in, and this is where we stand. And when we get there, you will see a lot more progress in our democratic institutions. We're not there yet, but we'll have to head in that direction.
Will we ever get there? We will ever get to a point where people will actually stand up on ideology in Nigeria as presently constituted?
I believe that you will. Okay, and so first and foremost, you are finding that new players come into the political arena every single day, and they come for a particular reason. Some people come because they are looking on as to how to develop their own political interests. Others come because they want to come and serve. But at some point, people are going to have to sit down to say, what differentiates me from the others, or what brings us together around a common goal. And I believe 100% that some of us are driving that agenda of common goal, service to the people, and something that is different. And that's what we must stand for. So if not this, we're wasting our time in a political arena if we do not believe that the future is going to be different from today. And I believe 100% that we're here to create a different tomorrow and a different future. So yes, ideology is going to be at the center of the conversation. It's not there yet, but it's definitely going to come.
Let me act like a child and put my pinkies across here in faith that your optimism will come to pass. But before I let you go, I want to ask this one. Former Delta State Governor Ifeanyi Okowa has claimed that the ex-Vice President Atiku Abubakar is preparing to leave the PDP ahead of the 2027 election. We all know Atiku is no newcomer to switching partisan loyalties, but how could that tilt the balance if it does happen?
Did you say that he's poised to leave the PDP?
Yes, that's the understanding that's been put out.
Okay, so in that particular case, first and foremost, I think the best person to answer that question will be Atiku. I haven't heard that he's poised to leave the PDP, and if he's leaving the PDP to go where? And that's what the issue is. But he's the best person to answer it. I don't think it makes, for me, I don't think leaving the PDP is going to solve anything. If at all, he needs to remain there, he needs to strengthen it, he needs to bring people together, and he needs to chart a new course for the PDP that sees him as a statesman, central figure of the PDP. I don't know whether he wants to run again, but I don't think leaving the PDP at this point in time is a decision that should be taken. That's my personal opinion, but I haven't heard that he wants to leave.
I did say this was the last question, but I just remembered from my previous question, I don't think you answered that part of it, about the APC. Is there internal mechanism being put in place to checkmate the excesses that is invariably going to come up from those who are moving in droves to the APC?
I think every political party, let me even change that, every institution and every organization must have internal controls. And the bigger you get, without those controls, the more likely you're going to become a damaged party moving forward, and you will be abused. So for the sake of the APC moving forward, especially with people who are coming in from different factions, internal controls must be there, and that has to be driven. If not, it's a failed project. And so internal controls must happen. If not, there will just be division, and a house that is divided just cannot stand.
The implications for the 2027 elections, this defection generally, what would be your thinking? What would you sum for 2027?
I think what these defections would then do basically is that for any opposition to come, that opposition has to be formidable, the opposition has to be strong, the opposition must carry a message to Nigerians that there's something different that they're bringing onto the table, different players, different group, different ideology, different statement, different language. And so if an opposition cannot bring that onto the table, then Nigerians will say, what's the point? If this is who they see and this is all they know and everybody looks the same, then they might as well just continue with what they see. So I think at this point in time, what Nigerians should be looking for and looking out for is who is going to be able to come, who will stand, and what message will they speak that is different from what we're seeing today.
Thank you very much for speaking with us.
You're welcome.